Hi guys, my name is JJ, and I was the team leader for the Mount Everest simulation.
My name's Emily, and I was the marathoner for the simulation.
My name is Jennifer, and I was the observer.
I'm Jenny, I was the environmentalist.
I'm Jake, and I was the photographer.
I'm Sally, and I was a physician.
Okay, so a few things that we did right before the simulation was, number one, we had great contact with each other in group text and with our emails, and we had open communication all around. And before we set up another meeting before the simulation meeting, and Sally had an agenda that she sent out like a week before, so we were all prepared before that meeting. I did minutes during that meeting, and we pretty much discussed what times we should meet up for the simulation, our roles, and what was pretty much expected of us in that simulation. And we kind of discussed how we all come from different walks of life and different cultures and things. So essentially, we have all a variation of social construction of communication, and pretty much we were able to work that out, and we were able to kind of adjust to however, each of us would be able to communicate successfully. We actually did have conflicts of scheduling with everyone's busy schedules, but we did work it out as best as we can, and we did end up having really successful meetings.
Okay, so I wanted to discuss what went right during our simulation. So in the beginning of every camp and every day, we all made sure that our health was okay and made sure that we could provide each other with the things we needed to help our health get back to normal. And then with that, we also decided whether we should advance to the next camp or not. Like for one round, my health was down, so we all stayed back one day instead of going to the next camp. So we made sure just what everyone needed, and like with Emily, like we all checked with the weather and made sure that that was okay for that specific day. And just made sure that everyone was communicating and that our health and everything was okay for that specific time.
And it was really successful because we were all, we made sure that all of us agreed on a decision before we went forward with it.
Yeah, there was never a point where someone made a decision about moving on that wasn't okay with everyone else in the group.
We
Yeah.
all stayed together for sure.
Yeah, it was constantly just being together as a group, and there was a time when I moved on, and the group was left behind, but we managed to regroup together by managing to let the other team advance while I fell behind and managed to catch up with them. So that was good.
But I mean, with every group project meeting, something usually goes wrong. So going into the simulation, we didn't really realize what we were getting ourselves into. So when we started the simulation, we had to figure out how to run it and kind of figure out the website in itself and realize what information we're getting at each round. And each round you're given your information, and we would read it to ourselves. And what we didn't realize was information that you got at each round could be helpful for someone else in the group. So I think Jenny got wind information that Emily needed to do the weather. So as time went on, we realized that we need to communicate with each other after each round that, oh, this is what my computer says, that the winds are going to be like this, and kind of communicate with Emily so she can decide what the weather is. And each round I would ask people how their health was, and if they needed something, if they needed an inhaler, if we need to stay back and stuff like that. So what I think the biggest issue was that we weren't talking at the beginning. It was kind of more on the silent side where we were going through it ourselves and just discussing, do we want to go on or not go on, and not discussing the small details of each round.
Yeah, we were just kind of clicking through to get through with it. Like, that's definitely not the way that we could have been successful on the simulation, because it's kind of obvious that like the group interaction component is needed for it. And so if we weren't like disclosing details that one another had, then we wouldn't be as successful.
Yeah, we also, I think at times we found ourselves talking over each other and not allowing each other to finish their thought, and that would kind of skip over important details of weather, health or something, because I think everyone had so many thoughts they wanted to get out. They weren't letting people finish, and I think that's a huge part of communication within a group, is letting your people you're working with finish their thought and get out their idea, because that could have an answer to your question, or it could be the same idea you have.
Yeah, there was definitely a learning curve with the simulation. And then there was some fear of conflict. It was more of like a fear of failure and not making it up to the top, which we didn't end up making it up to the top, but that doesn't mean that we didn't all work together and have harmony. It wasn't artificial harmony. We ended up just compromising and having better teamwork in the end. We kind of went from norming to performing, and it all ended up working really well. There wasn't any actual conflict in the simulation at all.
Even though we didn't make it to the top, we still had a positive outlook on the situation, that we didn't leave anyone behind. It wasn't just the experienced climbers going up to the top each time and leaving the people that were sick, or me being the physician and having to help people that are sick. I think it's very important that we decided to stay together, and we didn't get to the top. It was more important to work together through the whole project.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
That was a good success that we all lived.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, that nobody
Yeah.
died is
Like,
definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
Even if we
They
didn't make it
kept
to the
telling us,
top.
like, some of you will die. No.
Yeah. Listed, yeah.
Going back to what Emily said real quick, I think that the fear of failure is what brought us all together, because we all had that same type of just mental focus of trying to go through this as a unit, and I think that's what made us all strive into not dying.
Yeah.
So for me, as a leader, I found there was a lot of emotional intelligence to be analyzed. First off, the personal goals that we all had, they were completely disregarded, and we all decided to work together and make the best for the team. So honestly, I was pretty comfortable with the team. I don't think there was that much issues with communicating at all. We were like, the self-regulation was great. There were no mood swings or disruptive impulses that made us all just stop for a moment and look at each other uncomfortably. It was a comfortable, nice experience that I had, and I guess as a team we all learned to hone in our skills of communication and just learning how to complete the task effectively. And I guess everyone managed to understand their roles and everyone else's. So I guess that's a good sign of empathy.
Yeah, there's no judgment of if someone made maybe a wrong decision or something like that. It was kind of, let's just talk about it for a minute and then we'll move on. It was never, why'd you make that decision, or
And we made sure that everyone's questions were answered.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think we did have a lot of questions going through the simulation about what does this mean, what does that mean, and it was never just one person deciding, even though the leader has the final say in when we move on. It was always a group decision of, are we all comfortable with this, should we do that, and so on.
And a couple of things that I noticed were that status and ego were kind of disregarded for the benefit of the team again. Like JJ was saying, like, personal goals were disregarded, and so I didn't think that we displayed an inattention to results. Is it like we were talking about, that everyone just wanted survival and personal success was not a priority, and the team goals were definitely just above everything else. We didn't show an avoidance of trust, because I think everyone seemed pretty vulnerable when suggesting ideas and like giving their input. So there wasn't any invulnerability. And then we also didn't really let one or two people dominate the discussion. We were contributing pretty equally, so that shows our emotional intelligence. And we kept track of how everyone was feeling and how they were going throughout the simulation, just making sure everybody was ready to go to the next step. So.
Yeah, and I think going off of that, I think that shows how well we work together, not only with each other, but in groups. Going back to what Jennifer said at the beginning, we all come from different backgrounds, and we didn't know each other before we were assigned this group. And the fact that we can come together and work with each other to do this project, and no one yelled at each other, no one got angry, and we all had very busy schedules. And the fact that we could go through this whole thing and not have one problem besides, oh, I can't meet at that time, and we figured that out, I think that shows how we all have taken what we've learned so far in this class, with meetings and making agendas and working with each other and working with each other's emotions. I think it shows that we have learned and we've used these skills to become better communicators and better team players.
And also, I think there was a lack of conflict, but that wasn't due to the fear of conflict. That was just like, I don't know. I think we were kind of like legitimately working harmoniously and doing things. So
You can give us an A+.
Yeah, I think we definitely learned some stuff about working with other people, and it's not all about what works best for you. Like, you do have to give a little.
There's a lot of compromise.
Yeah, it's a lot of compromise working with a group, and it's a lot different than doing a project with one other person, and or working with someone that you know. Like, say, working with a roommate, you know their schedule, you know when it's best to work out, and we have Jennifer lives in Denver, and we work at that schedule, and I play lacrosse. I'm not going to be here this weekend, and everyone was very accommodating with figuring out when we can meet and getting it done as soon as possible before the deadline, and not pushing it off to the last minute.
Yeah, and we're confident moving forward and working together in other groups and within this group for future projects.
It was a very good experience.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you.
Awesome.